Hello everybody, Cooper here and welcome back to another episode of my NBA 2K25 MyGM series here with the Los Angeles Lakers. I hope you're all doing very well today. This video is the trade deadline and All-Star weekend. Very excited for this one. In terms of the trade deadline, not going to do any moves. Very anticlimactic trade deadline, unfortunately, although there have been a few trades around the league that we are now going to have a look at before skipping into the All-Star break. And if we go to trades, we can have a look that Kawhi Leonard got traded by the Clippers with a 2029 Blazers pick to the Trailblazers for DeAndre Ayton. I don't know who this trade is good for, but it's a trade that happened. But in terms of, if we go to just trades, Time Lord got traded to the Indiana Pacers in exchange for Nick Lewis and a second round pick. Aaron Wiggins, who was on our team not that long ago, is now on the New York Knicks. Mitchell Robinson got traded for Lou Dort. He's off to the Miami Heat. And then if we look a bit further down the list, we can see the original De'Aaron Fox trade from a couple of episodes ago that I did mention as well. But we're going to skip through to the All-Star break. Now, we're going to play the All-Star game, which we actually skipped last year because I wanted to get to the end of the season a bit quicker, and it resulted in us losing a championship, unfortunately. So, without further ado, we're going to skip through the trade deadline, excuse me. We're going to do some scouting. That is all good, and Towns is injured. Fantastic. I believe he was selected as an All-Star, so we're probably going to take him out of the All-Star game now. I assume that's how it works. We'll have a look at the All-Star participants for the West. Brandon Miller is in there. No LaMelo. Towns is still listed. So I'm assuming he's still going to play. But if we have a look at the games that we did when we were on a 4-game win streak at this stage, we've got a very short rotation, and I plan on bulking this out, which I think is actually the mistake that we made last season, is that our rotation was far too short. I think going into the draft, we've got a couple of prospects that I have got an eye on. We might cover that at the end of the episode if I do remember to cover it. Anyway, we beat the Bucks by 4 at home. Cam Thomas scored 29, as did Brandon Miller. LaMelo got a nice triple-double. Karl Anthony Towns had a double-double and 5 turnovers, which was excellent. And Bronny had a triple-double with 5 offensive rebounds. Very good. In terms of the Bucks, Giannis did not really have a good game. Max Christie, who is a free agent at the end of the year, might consider bringing him back if we can afford it. He had a good game with 19 points, and then Jaren Jackson Jr., who signed a big extension with the Bucks in free agency last year, had a pretty good game, only had the 2 rebounds, which is a bit, odd. Then we followed up with a big win against the Bulls at home, 140-95. Brandon Miller, very close to a triple-double, did foul out before he could get it. 42, 9, and 9 with 2 steals and 2 blocks. Cam Thomas, 39 on the game. Karl Anthony Towns had a triple-double with 14 assists. LaMelo fouled out in 13 minutes. So Collier and Bronny had to play a bit of point guard. And then we had a few other guys sort of chip around, pick up some minutes here and there. In terms of the Bulls, the only player that I'm really, or the only 2 players I should say that I'm really interested in is Matas Buzelis. He's had a really good start to his career. He's eligible for a rookie extension in free agency if he hasn't already signed one. He's having a very good year for the Bulls, averaging about 17.5 points per game. And then obviously, Lonzo. We love Lonzo. I really like Lonzo Ball. I don't know what it is about him. I just really like him. Then we played the Nuggets away in Denver. Jokic, 38, 9, and 7, 3 steals and 3 blocks. It was very good, but we ended up winning by 18, as we did very well against them. Brandon Miller again scored 43, Cam Thomas 42. LaMelo once again fouled out, but Bronny again picking up the point guard slack. 8 points, 6 boards, 9 assists, 5 steals and a block. Brandon Miller also had 5 blocks, was very, very good. And then lastly, the last game before All-Star break, in which Karl Anthony Towns got injured in. We only beat the Hornets by 8, and we lost the last quarter by 15, so it definitely could have gone worse. None of their guys really played that well, but if we head over to our guys, we can see that LaMelo again fouled out, but, had a pretty good game. Cam Thomas had 33 and 11. Towns only played the 38 minutes. Brandon Miller wasn't that great. Bronny was okay, but had 4 turnovers. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how the rest of this sort of back half of the season plays out. We're currently 51 and 4. Do I think we'll break the all-time 73 and 9 Warriors record? Probably not, but if we do, that's something. But we're going to be focusing on the All-Star game today. I should probably check the All-Star participants in the dunk contest and etc. Looks like Bronny is in there. We did get a hint that he would be in there a couple of episodes ago. It might have been the last episode. And then we've got Saloun and David Robinson from the Hornets, as well as Quinn Sanders, who's a top 10 pick a couple of seasons ago for the Thunder. And then the three-point contest, Brandon Miller's in there, as is Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic, Darius Garland, and Jared McCain. But we're going to skip through the rookie showcase. It looks like the rookies win by a point. Walsh 14 and 6. Not too bad. Collier was really good, impressing, leading the scoring as well. And then Chester Malone, 22 minutes, 8 points, 4 rebounds. Not too bad. We had 3 representatives for the rookies. And I can't see any of our representatives for the sophomores, excuse me. I think the only one that'd be eligible would be Gray. Gary, excuse me. I always call him Gray for some reason. But it doesn't look like he participated. I want to quickly look at see if Karl Anthony Towns is still here. Because there's Miller. Hey! My guy. I had a sneaky feeling this would happen because when we looked at the All-Star votes towards, I think it might have been the back end of the last episode, the episode before that, he was in sort of the top ranking of the All-Star vote getters, but he was towards the lower end, so he would have missed out on the votes. We don't usually get too many rookie All-Stars, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Brandon Miller, we'll put Wemby at the 5, and then we'll put our guy Richard Walsh at the 4. And we're going to get our 2 guys in the starting lineup for the All-Star game. Is that favoritism? Yes, it is, but I don't care. We're going to have a rookie in the All-Star game. Doesn't happen often. I'm very excited. Let's get into it. Here we are, 2028 All-Star game. I don't remember what city we're in, but we win the tip. Walsh gets his first flavor of the All-Star game as Luka Doncic bringing the ball up for the Western Conference. Walsh, we might post up Tatum. He has a definite size advantage. Just put the ball up, dunk it in his face. Walsh gets the first points of the All-Star game. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's doing very well for OKC this season. Definitely up there in the MVP votes. We should have another look at that before the episode's end. As Jalen Brunson puts up the early floater. Walsh gets the rebound. Finds his teammate on the outlet pass. What are we going to do here? We don't usually get to go with Wembanyama, although we're going with Walsh in the pick and roll this time around. Wemby's in the corner, but we find Walsh instead, and the ball is turned over. Not a good start for our guy. Brunson pulls up in the mid-range, blocked by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Jalen Brunson for 3, misses as Walsh gets a second rebound. Let's slow the game down. Let's not do anything silly. Doncic will go pick and fade with Walsh. I'm not going to try and be too Walsh-centric in this one, but if we can get a couple of shots early, we're going to do it. As Walsh gets the 3 to go, he's got all 5 points for the West so far. And another miss for the East. Jaylen Brown misses posting up. Brandon Miller will get Wemby in the pick and roll this time. Shai can't find him on the perimeter. Miller thought about putting the shot up. We'll go Walsh in the pick and roll this time. Brandon Miller just inside the 3-point line. Knocks down the mid-range jumper. Jason Tatum is just having an absolute stinker in this one. We bring the ball up again. Wemby sets the screen. Brandon Miller at the foul line. Wemby with the tip in. Oh, he's missed the tip in. You'd think he's 7'4". You'd think he'd just pop up and get it in the rim. But not to be. Jason Tatum again for 3. Finally knocks down a shot for the Eastern Conference. Doing something a little different early in the All-Star game. We're going with all the big dudes. Şengün, Holmgren, Jokic, Williamson. They're all out there. And Wemby, of course. as Halliburton got the easy finish at the rim there. But we've got Williamson playing point guard on Jalen Brunson, which is something that in concept is just quite funny. Şengün gets the handoff to Jokic, launches the three, hits it. A couple of quick buckets for the East, and suddenly it's only a 9-point game. You know, it's quite early in the game, so I'm not too worried about it. Zion gets to the rim, and he's not now a free agent. He will be a free agent at season's end. It will be very interesting to see. You know, I don't think we'll be able to get him on board, but we do have a history of signing former #1 picks onto the team from New Orleans. We do have a history with it, but I don't think we will on this occasion. Zion trying to get by Halliburton. We might just post him up. See if the double comes. It does. Şengün for three. Can't get it to go. Alright, enough playing around. We're back to a bit of a more traditional lineup now. Walsh back in the game, as is Brandon Miller. Trae Young trying to get to the rim. Can't. Well, he does put a shot up at least. Walsh gets the offensive rebound and the putback dunk. Now has 9 on the game. Trae Young, we haven't used him a great deal in the All-Star game, mainly because he's always played for the East, and you know Atlanta is in the Eastern Conference. But now he's on the Clippers. We get a chance. He kicks it to Walsh in the corner. He misses. Kind of a nothing play. We've still got a 10-point buffer with a couple of minutes to go in the first. Anthony Davis into the game. Oh, this is sad. I don't like playing against Anthony Davis. He was so good for us for so long. And now he's playing for the Eastern All-Stars. Terrible news, terrible news. Minute to go in this first quarter of the All-Star game. We'll go pick and fade with Trae Young and Walsh. Can't get it to go. I was hoping, even though they're not on the same team, they play in the same city. So I was hoping we could get a little something there. Trae Young's trying to take a charge in the All-Star game. What are you doing, mate? Thompson gets the board, runs the break. Nothing really on. 2 for 1 would be nice. Devin Booker, he's channeling his inner Kobe. He's going to do baseline fadeaway. Knocks it down. Walsh driving baseline. Whoop. Don't step out of bounds. Post up again. Fade away. Can't get it to go. Brunson not going to shoot from half court. We get the block. That was brilliant. 14-point lead at quarter time. I think the All-Star game's in Los Angeles, but I believe it's a Clippers home game, if that matters. But we're doing very well so far. Start with the West All-Star game stats, and I believe I was correct. Everybody has played a minute so far. I don't think I'll do an even spread of minutes. I usually don't in the All-Star game. I tend to favor my players, but I try not to do it if I can help it. I also favor those who shoot well. That always helps. Walsh has played 9 minutes in his first All-Star game and now is 13, 4 and 2. He's got a dumb turnover to his name as well. 1 for 4 from deep, 6 to 10 from the field. Brandon Miller has not shot the ball well, so I'll probably keep him out heading into the second quarter. But Amen Thompson's been a pleasant surprise. Wemby, although not really a surprise, he was very good, as was Luka. Nikola Jokic only played a handful of minutes, if I can get my words out. Devin Booker was very good, got a clutch block at the end of the quarter there. Zion played a bit of point guard for us, and then those other guys only played a handful of minutes. In terms of the East, Jason Tatum leading the way as he normally does, 11 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 1 of 4 from deep. Jalen Brunson, 1 of 5 from the field. Tyrese Halliburton, 2 of 5 from the field. And Donovan Mitchell, 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 3 from deep. Team comparison-wise, their shooting splits are horrible. They're just shooting more free throws than us, which, you know, we haven't taken any free throws yet. We've mainly just taken jump shots, to be perfectly honest. 5 threes to 2. They're shooting 20%. We're shooting 42. It's not been the best offensive output, you know, by either team, but, you know, it's the All-Star game. You know, if you're looking for a really crisp, competitive game, you're not going to find it here. We're all about having fun. But also, towards the end of the game, it tends to get a little bit more competitive. And I can confirm we are in the Intuit Dome as well. And one thing I also forgot to mention is that Amen Thompson's 3-point rating, it's a 50. So we hit a wide open 3, Not with a perfect release. It went in with a 50. But anyway, enough. Oh, Wemby's on. I'm not even paying attention. Wemby's on Jalen Brunson. Double. Where's it coming from? Devin Booker's open. And he knocks it down. Luka finds Walsh on the perimeter. Launches the three. Can't get it to go. 1 for 5 on the All-Star game now for Walsh. Donovan Mitchell attempts to rise in front of Wemby. That won't work. We get the block. Unfortunately, that poor offensive possession results in another Anthony Davis bucket on the other end. Meaning he's now 3 for 3. Donovan Mitchell is cold. Double comes. I was about to say Donovan Booker. Devin Booker hits the 3. He's now got 8 on the game, including 2 threes. Halfway through the second quarter, Jalen Brown, excuse me. Quick inbound, gets the 3. And Brandon Miller back in the game as well, should be mentioned. I think this is his second All-Star game, if I remember correctly. Chet Holmgren gets an offensive rebound. Let's post up Jalen Brown. Brandon Miller with the deep fadeaway. Knocks it down. 16-point game. Oh, that's terrible defense. Oh my God. Brandon Miller got the 3rd foul and dunked on by Tatum. I'd be very interested to see at halftime how many blocks we have in this game, because I feel like we've got quite a few. Maxey. I don't think we've seen him in an All-Star game before. Whoop, get the rebound. There we go. Williamson in stride. Finds Miller. Hits the 3. Be it Tyrese Maxey, Jason Tatum, and Tyrese Halliburton, all wearing number 3. Sorry, wearing number 0 right now. Trae Young pulls up in the mid-range. Can't get the jumper to go. The East now have an opportunity to cut it below 10, which it hasn't been for a very long time. Jalen Brown has not been shooting well this game. Knocks that one down. Now a 7-point margin. Zion on Tatum, which you would think would be a good matchup just because of the sheer athleticism from both players. Tatum fades away. Holmgren just comes out of nowhere to get the rebound. Thompson. Let's give it to Zion. Let's launch a 3 with Zion. Gets fouled. Scotty Barnes didn't like the look of that. We'll get 3 free throws. We make the free throw. Now Williamson guarding Brunson very closely on the perimeter. With Brunson and Brown out on the court at the same time, it gets very confusing for my small brain to handle. Let's just get a quick 3 up with Brandon Miller so we can get the 2 for 1. We make it. I think he's leading the game now. Tatum might be, but Brandon's definitely leading for the West, I would say. If not, Walsh might have above 20. Giannis on Trae Young is terrifying, but also kind of hilarious. Handoff is given to Brunson. Giannis is all by himself. Yeah, we can't really do much about that, unfortunately. One last shot before halftime. I think we might just take a logo shot. That might be fun. We don't usually take logo shots. I mean, it is the All-Star game. I think Trae Young is probably the most qualified player on the court to take it. Let's take it. Ah, we don't get it. Pretty fun first half of the Western Conference and Eastern Conference. 14-point game. A lot more competitive in the second quarter than the first. After a halftime snack for yours truly, we are looking at the stats as we normally do at halftime. Looks like Brandon Miller and Walsh are leading the way with 18 points. And it's quite funny because I did have a sneak peek at the East as well. Jason Tatum also has 18 points, so 18 seems to be the magic number in this game so far. We look at the stats on the game. Just defensively, we have been awesome. Turnovers, not great. They have 6 steals, we have 6 turnovers. Fortunately, only conceded them to having 5 points off of turnovers. But our rebounds have been good offensively and defensively. Bench points, second chance points, assists have been good. Not too bad on the fast break, but could be better. But we're keeping them under 40% shooting, which I'm pretty happy with, to be honest. So let's just continue with this game. And hopefully we can just, have a bit of fun in the second half. Second half underway in the All-Star game. Jalen Brunson bring the ball up for the East. Handoff to Tatum, who is honestly their best hope at winning anything in this game. The rest of the East have not been very good. Walsh, good contest. Luka, who's been low-key very good on the boards in this game, gets his 5th rebound. Jokic, who's been guarded by Jaylen Brown, which is actually quite funny. Let's even get the ball to him. Actually, Walsh is wide open. Let's get it to him instead. Launches the 3. Terrible shot. Hits the side of the rim. Not a good start for either team in the second half. Booker guarding Halliburton very closely. Tatum off the screen. Takes the midi. Misses again. Doncic with another rebound. Jovic. I miss Jovic. I'm talking about Jokic, but I said Jovic because I miss my boy. But we traded him so we could get Walsh, and I think it's a decision worth something in the end. Tatum gets the handoff after the timeout. Misses, and Doncic, another rebound for the quarter. I have no idea how many he has now, but that was a sloppy turnover. Hopefully we can make up for it. Blocking foul by Walsh. Bit of backwards and forwards action between Doncic, Walsh, Halliburton, and Brunson. Ball finds Brown on the perimeter. He misses another 3. Oh my goodness. Where do we go from here? Walsh will post up. Tatum post fade. Can't get it to go. I think we might need to get some subs in the game. I think our guys are starting to get a bit tired. Good defensive play by Booker. Can't stop the shot, but we'll call timeout. Tatum finally scores this quarter with a couple of free throws. Now, Doncic. Ooh, Holmgren, not really on there. Shea actually has a lot of space. Knocks down the 3. Hadn't hit a shot up until that point. We get the points to go. Halliburton with a deep pull-up 3, misses. Advance the ball to Miller again. Not on. Shea's on though. Go up, rise. 2 points on the board. Good play by Brunson. Blocked by, I'm not sure if that was Holmgren or Doncic. I think it was Holmgren in the end. Brandon Miller has a couple of plays on him. Has Tatum. Pulls up. Baseline jumper. Misses again. Last couple of jumpers not really going for Miller. That's okay. That's a good foul by Wemby. Send Giannis to the line. I don't think we'll get the 2 for 1, but we'll give it to Miller. Go to the rim. Gets swatted by Davis. I don't think Miller and Davis ever played on the same team. So it's actually quite funny how that played out. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, go all the way. You deserve a dunk. He's played very well so far, even though his scoreboard impact hasn't showed it. We're now up 30. We're just under 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. Brunson, are you going to settle for the final shot? You're currently cold, son. Pass the ball. He will never learn. 30-point game, 3-quarter time. Let's finish the job. No 3-quarter time stats. We are going to get straight into this fourth quarter, as I want to build a bit of anticipation for who could possibly be the All-Star Game MVP. Because the last time we played, it was sort of between 3 candidates, and the first couple of times it was pretty obvious. That is an awful pass by Walsh. Oh, God. Grenade! Nah, we can't get it to go. But I think it's between Walsh and Miller. Ironically, 2 teammates going to be vying for an individual award. So we'll see what happens. That is a foul by Walsh. He's now got 3. We've got Miller out of the game at the moment. We'll put him back in the game as a little bit later on. We'll give it a Walsh. We should post up here. There's a double. It's Chet. Ooh, I don't like this at all. Let's post up on Jaylen Brown. Can we get a body? Double comes. We'll give it a Devin Booker. He puts the 3 in. But yeah, I think it's between 2 players, Brandon Miller and Richard Walsh at this stage. Luka Doncic might be a stealth chance, and Chet Holmgren obviously has a handful of blocks, and I don't think Jason Tatum, as well as he's played for the East, he just hasn't scored enough points. But I think realistically it'll be between Miller and Walsh. We'll probably give it a couple more minutes before we put Miller in the game. We'll see how we go. Booker finds Walsh down low. Just dunk it. Just dunk it, mate. Arr. Miller back in the game? No, not yet. I think he's going to come in at the next stoppage. I tried to get him in. Donovan Mitchell, I don't think's hit a jumper yet, but he finally hits one. He has scored because he got a free throw to go. But isn't without hitting a jumper now. It's been a little while. Booker finds Mitchell, sorry not Mitchell, Walsh down low. Kick it out, kick it out, kick it out. Settle down. Who's open? Shea's open. That'll go in. There we go. Tatum, for whatever reason, pulls up in the mid-range off the fast break. Let's find Walsh down low. There we are. Another dunk. He has 33. If we don't put Miller in soon... He's sitting on the sideline, so we're just waiting for a stoppage in play. But I'm afraid that if Miller doesn't get in soon, Walsh is just going to score too many points for him to get the MVP. Donovan Mitchell, another jumper. We might call timeout here, just so we can get Miller in the game. All right, let's give these next couple of possessions to Miller. Pop the quick three, advancing the ball off the court. That was probably not the right decision. It would be really nice if they did like a co-MVP. Like if that was an option like they did with Shaq and Kobe in 2009. I don't think that will be a thing, but it'd be nice if it could be a thing. Oop, good rebound by Walsh. Give it a Shea, give it a Shea. All right, slow it down, slow it down. Hand off to Miller. Go baseline. Launch up. 2 points to Miller. Another thing that is surprising, as well as LaMelo Ball not making the All-Star game, is that Cam Thomas didn't make it. I know he's not a particularly high-rated player, and he probably doesn't have, like, player reputation, or I'm not sure if that's a thing in this game. But, like, he's a higher overall than Walsh. Obviously, they play different positions. But he's averaging nearly, like, 28, 29 points a game. Like, what more do you have to do to make the All-Star team? Miller for three. Another miss. It's been a real chuck fest these last couple of minutes. Been really ugly viewing. Holmgren been really good defensively. Brunson, not afraid to shoot. Especially when you're down 30 in the All-Star game. The East might crack 100. We don't know. We've been a pretty good job. I think they were on 65 at three-quarter time. They're now on 90, which is a little concerning, but we'll see how the rest of the game plays out. 30-point lead, just over 2 minutes to go. Brunson pulls up about 30 centimeters inside the three-point line, hits it. Find Miller on the perimeter. Quick three. Just shot chucking. What are we doing? Is that another charge in the All-Star game? 3 charges in the All-Star game. I've never seen so many charges in an All-Star game. This is absolutely outrageous. Holmgren sets the screen for Booker. Miller in the corner. Hits the three, now has 37. I have no idea how many threes he's hit. He's probably hit more than Walsh, but it has been a lot of fun. 31-point game now. Brunson shooter, I dare ya. Misses. Walsh gets the rebound. Tatum's still in the game, and he has not really done much of anything in this second half. He was really good in the first half, and then the game just got out of hand. Miller goes up with the right hand, misses the layup. We allow the offensive rebound. Jaylen Brown. I was going to say he's going to miss that, but he's knocked it down. 35 seconds to go. I know Walsh has 40. How many does Miller have? Miller has 37. If we can get them both to 40, that'd be nice. I'll enjoy that. Let's get... Oh, there we go. Oh, it's a 2. It's all right. He made it. We might be able to get one more shot, depending on what they do here. But it's been a pretty comprehensive win for the Western All-Stars, unlike the last All-Star game we played. Let's go to Miller. He's got 10 seconds. Booker, give it up. Playing really close defense. Let's just launch a 3. Knocks it down. 42. 31-point winners. And most importantly, the East doesn't crack 100. They stay on 99. And it's Richard Walsh, the #1 pick in this year's draft. The first-time All-Star. Wins All-Star Game MVP. Final look at the stats for the Eastern All-Stars. Jason Tatum started so promisingly. He had 4 points. He was 1 for 10 in the second half. What are you doing, man? Okay. Anyway, But yeah, a lot of poor performers for the East All-Stars. Tatum, 7 for 21. Brunson, 7 for 22. Jaylen Brown was a special consideration, 4 for 17. Donovan Mitchell, 2 for 10. A lot of stinkers. Giannis was good. 11 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists and a steal. Anthony Davis wasn't too bad. Paolo Banchero wasn't too bad either. Tyrese Maxey hit a 3. Poor Pascal Siakam and Cade Cunningham got DNPs in the All-Star game. But all of our guys played. Alperen Şengün only played in the first quarter, didn't play much after that. Chet Holmgren missed his 3 shots but got 12 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal and 3 blocks. But apart from sort of, Miller and Walsh, the minutes distribution was pretty even. Luka got 11 rebounds, 6 points, 7 assists. Shea was really good. I really loved playing with Devin Booker. 14 points, 4 boards, 9 assists, 4 of 5 from deep. But yeah, the 3-point chucking was a little ugly towards the end of this game. Walsh ended 5 for 16 from deep. Miller, 7 for 16. But Miller actually outscored Walsh 42 points to 40. But Walsh led the way with the boards and the assists in the end as well. In stats-wise, biggest lead was 37 and game ended at 31. Equal on the turnovers. We got more blocks, they got more steals. 16 offensive rebounds was pretty bad. I think it was 8 to 8 at one stage. So to have it finish 16 to 8 is a little disappointing. But hey, we got a big win in a relatively uncompetitive game that doesn't really matter. So I'm pretty happy with this result. But let's get past All-Star Weekend. We're going to dive a little bit further into the season as there's a few more things I want to look at. And there's one particular game that I want to play. We're probably going to play 2 more games before the playoffs. There's one that I definitely want to play, and I haven't decided on what the second game is. But I want to show you a bit of the scouting we've been doing as well before we wrap things up, so strap yourselves in. Now that the All-Star game is done, the game that we are going to simulate forward to is all the way until the end of March, the 20th of March up against the Orlando Magic. Last time I checked, I believe they were the top seed in the East, and if I had a sneak peek now, they are the 2nd seed in the East behind the Indiana Pacers, who have been really, really consistent throughout this save file. So we're going to skip forward all the way through then. The reason I've chosen that game is, apart from Chicago and Detroit, and they're not in our conference or very good, we've played every other team in this series so far, and Orlando's the only other team we haven't played. So we're going to be playing that game. We're going to simulate forward. We get a couple of good wins over Chicago. I think it was Chicago. Actually, no, it was Miami and Boston. Bronny's pulled a back muscle. It was Phoenix, not Chicago. And Damian Collier is also getting his first start now that Bronny is out of the lineup with his injury. We've got some scouting to do. JJ Redick, is happy about something. Bronny is back from his injury. We lost to the Blazers, which is a little annoying. Was it a bad loss? It was only 8 points. That's not too bad. Collier actually had a really good stat line. Almost got a 5x5. Walsh, 23, 9, and 5. He almost got a 5x5 as well. LaMelo got a triple-double, so it wasn't even a bad game. Cam Thomas didn't shoot that well. Benedict Mathurin, in his revenge game, did pretty good. 19.5 points per game for him. Not bad at all. We want to give bonuses to the staff. We can do it. We've also got an upgrade point. Let's have a look at what would be beneficial for us. I saw this one a little bit earlier, which is increase all player attributes by 2 when playing at a sold-out home game. What else is potentially interesting? What about, is there anything in training that we could use? I don't think there's anything too interesting here. I'm going to have a look around and see and have a think about what I think will be the best one to add. I'm going to go with this one here. Free agents are more likely to sign. Not that I plan on signing too many big free agents, but if I can get them and free agent signing to be a little bit easier, I'm going to do it. Now towards the back end of February, still a few games to get through. Towns is back. I'm going to leave him out for now just because I want to give him a little bit more rest. Now LaMelo's injured day to day. Okay, well, I guess we'll bring Towns back. Now I'm going to continue simulating forward till the Orlando Magic game. Towns is returned from his injury. Now Chester Malone has a 6 to 8 week injury. I think I might just shorten the bench because he's only getting like 8 minutes a game, so I'll just tweak it around with the starting lineup and then continue the simulation. Okay, we get through in one piece. We're 65-5. We only lost one game in that period, which is actually kind of surprising. So the 73-9 is definitely still on. I still don't think we'll get it just because, you know, fatigue. But that game against the Clippers, wow, we absolutely smoked them. Absolutely incredible. How's Walsh going? 20.5 points a game, 9 boards, almost 5 assists a game. He is doing very well, playing a lot of minutes, but as I said, we're not a particularly deep team at this point in time. Cam Thomas robbed from entering the All-Star game, unfortunately, as was LaMelo Ball. Just one of those things, unfortunately. But we'll hopefully have plenty of guys make the All-NBA team, as I think for this game against Orlando, I'm just going to fix the rotation a little bit. This is literally the crazy rotation we're playing at the moment. I'm going to patch this up, because we obviously want to get Towns back in, because he's been sitting on the bench for a little while. What is this going to look like? I think we reduced this to like 7 guys. I want sort of 40 minutes a game for each of our starters. Bronny can come off the bench, and we're going to actually have our strongest sort of 5 guys actually start the game. I've had to rotate our starting 5 so many times. We'll leave it there for now. I think that is going to be the rotation for the Orlando Magic game. And then for the ongoing simulation, I'm not sure what game we will play. There's also one sneaky game down here against the Atlanta Hawks, which we need to keep an eye on. Draft prospects, that is where we're going to go now. My draft board I have put together. There's 4 players, which is basically the same 4 players that I've looked at for I think I showed these same 4 players earlier in the season. Mario Salerno, still my pick. He's a 77 overall. Good from 3, good free throw shooter, not a bad perimeter defender. I say that, it's a 51. But if we look, you know, it's a C on the grade. So, and you know, with scouting reports, they're not always the most accurate. And I think with these 2 centers, Hans Kramer from Germany and Sam O'Neal, Michigan State. Yes, Michigan State. I think I'm going to go Sam O'Neal. He's the better prospect. I think he's got really good potential. He's got A potential. What am I looking for? I was looking for something. Durability. His durability is good. And he's also a couple of years younger than Hans Kramer. So I think that's the prospect I'm going to go for. But if I can't get him, I will draft Hans Kramer. And then Jonathan Teague, who is a player that we've only added to the list quite recently. Quite a short player. He's only 6'1". But by the looks of things, he's not really bad at any one thing. But I think, you know, he can just be a good backup point guard in the second round. He's young enough to make a difference as well. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more if you enjoyed this content. There is a playlist in the description if you want to sort of watch all of my videos in this series in order. It is all there waiting for you. And until next time, guys, I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. I'll see you guys then. Bye!